On today's episode, we are going to take a look at Skillz. This stock yesterday was down big. Today, it's up big. So on today's episode, what we're going to do first, we're going to try to understand why the stock price dropped yesterday. And let's try to see why the stock is going up today. If this is your first time here, make sure to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and make sure to follow. I do live stream here Mondays through Fridays at market hours. Make sure to stay tuned. So let's get started. But before we begin, let's take a listen to today's sponsor. I want to thank the Motley for sponsoring this video. The Motley is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You guys know I love finding new investing tools and resources to help me scout out new growth stocks. And right now I have a discount for one of my favorite services, the Fool offers. Through the Motley Stock Advisor services, you get access to a ton of expert stock picks. Every month you'll get 2 new picks that are aimed at growing your wealth and to help you realize your financial goals. Stock Advisor's average stock picks have done amazing returns. If growing your money is something you'd like to do more of this year, you can visit fool.com/Jose Najarro or click on the link below for access to my special offer and decide if the Stock Advisor is right for you. Thanks again to the Motley Fool, and now on to today's video. Alright, so like I mentioned, today we are taking a look at Skillz. This is traded under the New York Stock Exchange as ticker SKLZ. It currently has a market cap of $5.6 billion, and for the day it is up 13%, but at one time it was up almost 15%, which is insane. But if we take a look from yesterday's closing, the stock price was down about 11% yesterday, and we're going to take a quick look at why. Overall, if we take a look at the longer scheme of things, the stock price is still down 67% from its all-time highs. First, let's find out why the stock price dropped yesterday. I do want to say a good portion of the stock drop yesterday was just the overall rotation still out of growth stocks, right? We're still seeing it. Growth stocks are still getting hit big. The other reason is there was a new short report that came out for Skillz. Skillz, and this was by Eagle Eye Research. This is a brand new Twitter account. Some people were already bad-mouthing Eagle Eye just because it was a new account, and the first post I believe they mentioned was this short report. There were some, if you guys want to take a look at the Twitter thread, there were a mixture of people agreeing and disagreeing with them. Again, it's always good to see both the bearish and bullish side of them. The main point, or the main bearish thesis for this short report, was the overall accounting material and how Skillz might be overstating some of its revenue. So I do believe that fear, and with everything going on with growth stocks, continue to push the stock price yesterday to drop about 11%. So now my overall thoughts on Skillz, right? We're going to take reasons why I'm still bullish in the company. I do recommend, if you are a Skillz shareholder, just take a look at that report. Just because you look at a report and read it doesn't mean you have to agree with it, but it can bring maybe something that you as an investor might want to check out a little bit deeper. But I do want to mention some of the great things about Skillz right now that have recently come out on some of the recent news. First, they did on March 25th, about a month ago, they gave us their outlook performance for Q1 of 2021, and their outlook is actually better than what analysts expect. So that's a great thing. Another thing is not that great of a news. On March 18th, we all know about that public offering that came out for Skillz. I know a lot of people don't like this. At the end of the day, I do think this was a great move for the company, building up more cash at the moment, right? They already have a very, very strong balance sheet, right? Skillz has a strong balance sheet with plenty of cash compared to, I believe, no debt. And even after this offering, they're increasing that cash position even bigger. Skillz intended to use that money for working capital and general corporate purposes. So I am very excited that they are gonna have this good wiggle room with cash. The other great things about Skillz are just the NFL agreement that they just signed, and the other agreement that they signed with Mechanics, which is a big first-person shooter, arcade-style manufacturer, right? A lot of people might know him from Big Buck Hunter. The reason I am bullish with these two is not because of the games, right? And the CEO did come out with a letter. I'm not bullish because of the games that are going to come out, but it's showing that, hey, some of the biggest brands are coming to Skillz. And they're coming to Skillz for a reason, because they believe this market that Skillz is hitting is one that they see growth in, right? If the NFL If mechanics did not see any future growth from this platform, they wouldn't have entered in some form of agreement with them. So because those are entering, I can see future games and future brands coming to Skillz as well. Right now, there are 5 analysts following Skillz. 3 of them give it a buy, 2 give it a hold. So right now it's a moderate buy. The average price is $31.40, and this is about 122% increase compared to the same time last year. I personally don't follow much of these analyst price targets. I know some of my viewers do, so I definitely like to share all type of information. My favorite thing about Skillz is their CEO came out recently and kind of shared information to us, the retail investors. And this was on April 8th of 2021. And I've highlighted some of my favorite points about Skillz. The first thing is we saw their outlook, right? Their outlook is showing strong growth. And the huge reason is because most of their players are becoming payers. Their overall Q1 outlook implies 84% year-over-year growth for the company and 18% quarter-over-quarter growth. This would mark their 21st consecutive quarters of sequential revenue growth. That is definitely insane for the company. Another thing that I'm super excited is even though they have new potential games, these new potential games and new potential partnerships are not included in revenue guidance because they don't know how well these games are going to do. For that reason, they believe that I do believe that most of these forecasts are usually still very conservative with the new games coming out and how well they continue to do. Next, the CEO kind of talked about where the company is going to grow. And as investors, right, this is the most important. We want to know where the future growth for this company is. The first thing is they are now expanding into the international market. Right now, the international gaming market is 4 times bigger than North America, but it currently only represents 10% of their total revenue. They are on track to launch in India later this year and have plans to expand into additional new countries after that. I mean, that's insane, right? Expanding into India, it will increase their addressable market by 65%. So I can see why long-term investors are very, very bullish on this company. The final thing that I found super interesting about this letter is that they are exploring expansion beyond video games. They are thinking about gamifying other industries. For example, the exercise, the education. Imagine having an application that when you're running on a treadmill, when you're working out, you're able to compete against other people and win prizes. I can see that obviously doing big. And the educational. Imagine if you're a parent and you want your kid to learn, have some form of allowance. If they do well against other kids, that competition nature, I think, can grow, right? If I was a parent and I had a kid, I'd be like, hey, show me you can beat all these other kids in these math problems. And if you do, your winnings are going to be your allowance. Obviously, I don't know how that might work based on age, right? There might be at 18 and over, but still, both the exercise and education can be a huge grower for the company. And I am liking that they are thinking about other stuff. Even though Skillz many might think of it as about a gaming company, this kind of competition nature is their true method. So it's not like I feel like they're expanding into outside the realm, right? This is going to be inside the realm. And I do believe it's great news for Skillz. At the same time, right, there are many risks with Skillz. The first thing is the company right now is not profitable in GAAP earnings. It's not positive in cash flow from operations. As we've seen, this company is also very volatile. This is one of those companies that I do believe for the next few years, or even the next few quarters, is gonna be very volatile. And investors, if you invest in companies like this, you have to be prepared for some crazy big drops, right? Like I saw from its all-time highs, this stock has down 67%. Me as an investor, I have not sold as a position, but luckily I did enter and originally talked about this stock when it was still as SPAC as FEAC, and I'm still green. So I am lucky, right? I am in a different stage of different investors. But at the same time, even I feel if I would have entered at a different stage, this is one I would understand. Very volatile, high risk with that volatility. It can go up and down in a matter of days, right? 14% right now as I'm recording for today. So definitely keep that in mind, the volatility. Right now, the future growth this company has, I can see, I'm excited. I can see why investors are excited. The expansion to India and other countries and the expansion into other markets. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Like always, subscribe, take care, and see you next time.